from New Zealand. I'll be your guys' driver for about an hour or so. So it roughly takes about 20 minutes to get up there, a bit of time on the ice, and finally after 20 minutes back down. Now you guys are pretty lucky today. You've got the bus with air conditioning. Comes in the form of these windows. So if you get hot, you can open them. If you get cold, you can close them. But we'll be on our way shortly, but feel free to sing out with any questions along the way. So as you can see, we got a bit of fresh snow last night. Was everyone having a good day so far? Yeah. Good. Can everyone hear me down the back all right? Yep, marvellous. Now, at the moment we're about 1,800 metres above sea level. Now, if we look to the left there, we've got the Stern Rock is actually the base of Mount Athabasca. Now, the tip of Mount Athabasca is actually in the clouds there, just to 11 o'clock. But the tip of Mount Athabasca is about 3,491 metres above sea level, so it's a pretty decent climb to get up there. Now this mountain's it's quite favoured with mountaineers. They enjoy this mountain because they don't have to do a 3 or 4 hour hike from a bush just to get to the base. So all they have to do is walk up our nice road and ready to climb. Now, there's about 10 different routes to climb to the top here. They range from expert to beginner. The beginner route takes actually about 10 hours to get from here right to the top, and about 10 seconds to get down. Now currently we're just in the sub-alpine eco-region. We're about to transition into the alpine eco-region. So basically all that means is these trees and shrubs here on our left-hand side, they'll be the last that we're going to see for a while. Now if we're lucky, we might see a bit of moss growing on the odd rock because it took a liking to it. But with a lot less vegetation, we see a lot less wildlife. We do sometimes see a few marmots, even some little peakers, but mainly we see bighorn sheep come up. Now, I haven't seen any for a while, it's getting a bit cold, so they're staying down in the lower eco-regions. But where we started was the transfer bays. But back in 2014, our transfer base used to be about 300 metres in front of us. Now there's a story of an ice explorer driver who parked his bus up and then he was walking back down this road because it was a nice sunny day. Then one of the blue buses drove past and they're all frantically waving at him and he's like, oh, it's a friendly bus, so he starts waving back. And then the blue bus slams its brakes on and opens its doors and everyone's frantically waving him over. So he goes, oh, I better go and see what they want. So he wanders over. They quickly grab him, drag him aside and shut the door. And he's like, oh, what's the problem? And it turns out there was a mountain lion about 20 metres behind him. Oh. It was actually stalking him. So we do sometimes get predators up here, but not very often. Now we're all pretty lucky today, we're at bus 546. It's a nice slow bus, so we get to enjoy the scenery. Do you know what they say? Slow bus, good driver. Now, on our right hand side here, we've got the lateral moraine. So basically it's just a big pile of loose dirt and rock. But back about 170 years ago, the ice was at its highest. The ice used to be right up to the top there, or even a bit higher. And then the moraine just formed. So basically it's just a big pile of loose dirt and rock. But back about 170 years ago, the ice was at its highest. The ice used to be right up to the top there, or even a bit higher. And then the moraine just formed. So basically it's just a big pile of loose dirt and rock. But back about 170 years ago, the ice was at its highest. The ice used to be right up to the top there, or even a bit higher. Now with all that ice there, it would have kept the moraine nice and stable. But as the ice is receding, this moraine's becoming more and more unstable. There's quite a bit of erosion's happening. Now I'll point out a bit of erosion as we go along. Now the really good thing about this bus, it goes a lot faster downhill. Now as we take this corner, we get our first glimpse at the base of the glacier. Pretty nice there with a bit of fresh snow on top. Now the Athabasca Glacier here is actually one of 6 glaciers that's been it's actually fed by the Columbia ice field. So those glaciers are the Simbopta Glacier, Athabasca, the Dome, Castle Garden, Stutfield, and the Columbia Glacier as well. Now if we look straight ahead there, we've got 3 kind of ice steps. Now those 2 steps, the 2 bottom steps, are actually part of the Athabasca Glacier. And that top one, where you can see all that snow and ice where it meets the sky, is the Columbia ice field. Now it's quite big, it's about 215 square kilometres. So roughly it's the size of 2 Vancouvers, or the size of 2 Parises. Or if you want to get fancy, it's the size of 1 Vancouver and 1 Paris together to make a French Canadian ice field. Now, that story about the old transfer bays, this used to be it, but it got too small, so we had to move it back to the transfer bays. Move it back to where we started. So coming up here, we've got a bit of a steep hill. It's about a 32% grade. Probably a good time to tell you it's my first day. Just kidding, it's my second. Alright, so before we go down, I'll just make sure everyone's got their seatbelts on, please. Just kidding. Alright, there we go. Now,
look, man, no hands.
I just chucked on our 6-wheel drive, got our transmission lock up on. But if you guys get scared, just do what I do. Now, you would have seen those really big tyres we're actually driving on. Now they're called Terra tyres. Now they're about 1 metre wide, 1.6 metres high. And they've actually only got 14 PSI in them. So it's about half of what you put in your regular car tyre. With that though, because each wheel a lot of grip, spread that over our 6 wheels, gives us a lot of traction. Don't worry about those squeaky brakes. I did test them this morning. Now each one of those wheels is roughly worth about $5,000. Now those wheels only last about 2 to 3 seasons out here. And I think all the wheels on this bus are about 4 seasons old. Now this Ice Explorer is about 18 metres long. It's about 4 metres high, about 3.5 metres wide, and it weighs just under 30 tonne. Now, if you were actually to buy one of these today, it would cost you about $1.3 million. That's Canadian dollars, so about 20 American.
Look at the blue. See the blue on the mountain. Can you see it?
Alright, so we've got a pretty good view of the Athabasca Glacier now. Now if I told you all we're actually already on the glacier, would you believe me? Yeah. Yep, good, because we are. We're on what we call the ice core moraine. So about a foot below us is just dirt and rock, and then below that's about 30 metres of ice. Now all this loose dirt and rock here used to be part of the lateral moraine. Until it became so unstable it all collapsed over on top of the glacier. So this dirt and rock here is actually insulating the ice beneath us. So this ice is melting quite a bit slower than the glacier itself. Now we usually have a good cross section of the ice core moraine here on the left hand side. You can actually just see the top of those rocks there. Now just below those rocks is just pure ice. You can't really see it with all the snow, so you have to take my word for it. Now coming up here we've got what we can affectionately call the Brewster tyre wash. It's just a bit of a man-made dam we've got here. Just some runoff water from the glacier. But we use this just to wash our tyres, so we don't take any more dirt onto the glacier itself. Now with small amounts of dirt on the glacier here, it's the opposite of insulating. That small amount of dirt will actually absorb the heat and transfer it to the glacier and make it melt quite a bit faster. So we try and reduce all the dirt that we can take on here. Now there are a few dangers to being on a glacier out here, mainly crevasses and mill wells. Now crevasses are just big cracks in the ice. Now if you can imagine putting a chocolate bar in your freezer for a couple of hours and then trying to bend that chocolate bar, the top of the chocolate's going to crack first. And it's actually the same for this glacier. As this glacier is coming downhill, quite a bit of stress in the ice as it's coming down, so big crevasses are forming. Now they say you've got about 40 minutes survival time if you fall in a crevasse, and unfortunately the closest rescue team is in Jasper, which is an hour away, so please don't go looking for crevasses. Now the other one to look out for are mill wells. Now mill wells are kind of the plumbing system of the glacier. When there's a lot of excess water, that water needs somewhere to go, so it can actually drill right down through the ice, either right down to the bottom or up to the side there, to get rid of all that water. Now there's a man about 30 years ago who said he fell in a mill well and came shooting out the end of the glacier like a big water slide. So he was either very lucky or telling some porkies. But those crevasses and mill wells, they're especially dangerous when it snows out here. The snow will form snow bridges over those crevasses and over those mill wells, so you won't be able to see where they are until you actually find one. Now in the last 10 years on this glacier, there's been about 7 reported deaths. Not to worry, none of those are on my tour. They're all from people just walking on the ice here without any experience or knowing what to look out for. Now we've actually got 2 more glaciers out here to our left hand side. You can kind of just see the bottom of the one here. Now the one on the left there, it's called the AA Glacier. Now it's named that because it's between Mount Athabasca and Mount Andromeda. And the glacier there on the right hand side there, it's called the Andromeda Glacier. Now that's right in the middle of Mount Andromeda. Now that glacier there is so heavy and thick, pretty much dug out the whole side of that mountain. Coming up ahead here, we've got the turnaround point. So this is where we'll be able to get out, walk around. Funny enough, it's also where we turn around. Now, if we remember, we're in bus 546, so we'll be leaving at about 1 o'clock. Just here on our right, actually, there's a bit of a crevasse there. You can actually see. Yeah, so if we're all back on the bus by 1 o'clock, that'll be marvellous. Now, a few safety rules before we get here. There's a sign here above the door just saying snowmobile tours limited. It's not reserved responsibility for the person who's choosing to disembark in the glacier. So basically we've got this nice graded area up here. So please don't go beyond those cones and pylons. Also too, please don't walk behind the buses. They're pretty hard to see behind and I don't always feel what I run over. Now, the door will be open the whole time so you guys can come and go as you please. It is pretty icy out there and a few puddles around, so please watch your step. Now I'll be on the ice here if you have any questions or just want some photos of me. Just feel free to come and ask. Now there is an area just to the right here, it's a bit elevated. It's pretty nice, you can get some good photos of the glacier, you can get a bit higher. Now just one last time, we're in bus 546 and we're leaving at 1 o'clock.
We need more. Jeremy. The little snowman.
Let's build a snowman.
It's good packing snowing.
It really is. Hey!
Thanks for making me snowball.
Hold this, I'm gonna make a snowman.
Oh, it's cold.
Really, it's snow.
Little snowman?
It's gonna be a little baby one.
Was it snow boobs?
No.
It's a little snowy.
I'm gonna try and hit the water over there.
I think you did, but... Was there ice under there?
Yeah.